Hey guys, happy Tuesday. It's been a while since I've gone live and I was kind of hesitant to do this video just because I never want to sound salesy on my page or feel like I'm convincing anyone to do something, but you know I'm very passionate about nutrition and I'm passionate about spreading what I believe in and what works for me, and this just happens to be something that I really am very, very passionate about, and it's something that yes, I do sell. I am a Beachbody coach, but I just love to kind of spread the information about this. I honestly am so passionate about it. I could care less who your coach is. I could care less where you're getting it from. But I do believe that Shakeology is honestly a must-have in anyone's diet. So I wanted to share a little more info about it. I feel like it's very kind of misunderstood and, perceived as all these different things that it's not. And people don't really quite understand the value of it. So I wanted to share with you a little bit more about it, kind of a little bit more about the nutritional value of it and why I think it's so important. And now I will say this before I started Shakeology, I was the world's biggest skeptic, and I had probably a lot of the thoughts that you all have. Things like, I don't need a shake, or, I eat healthy already. It's not for me. I like to eat my food. I don't like to drink my food. Those were all on my list too, so I totally understand it, but I want you to hear me out, and I want you to kind of just listen and kind of understand a little bit more. My background is in nutrition. I do have a master's degree in nutrition, so I researched the heck out of this before I started to promote anything. And I really, being so good, I'm impressed. I would never ever promote something I didn't 100% believe in. And I do like to give that disclaimer. That being said, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a registered dietitian, I'm not making recommendations, I'm just sharing what works for me and sharing the info that I've come across along the way. So first things first, Shakeology is not a protein shake. That is my biggest pet peeve in the world. A protein shake is literally just that, pure protein. Shakeology is a meal replacement shake. It's a superfood packed meal replacement shake. So you're essentially getting a multivitamin, 5 plates of salad, literally everything you need in a day in one serving. And I'll go over why that's so important in a little bit. But it is not just a protein shake, it's a superfood meal replacement shake, and I really do believe it's one of the higher quality ones on the market. Now, if you are taking another meal replacement or a protein shake, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to flip to the back, look at the ingredients. If there is soy in it, if there is artificial flavors or artificial sweeteners, I want you to toss it. Find something else. These are all things that can be really detrimental to your health and to your diet long term. So that's one thing I want you to check on. Even if you're not a Shakeology fan or drinker, make sure your shake does not contain those 3 ingredients. So soy protein, artificial sweeteners, or artificial flavors. So that's part 1. It contains none of those. Now, the reason that I do believe Shakeology can help with weight loss. Shakeology is also not a weight loss shake. So it is not a protein shake, it's not a weight loss shake. It can aid in weight loss because weight loss is a byproduct of good nutrition. But Shakeology is in essence, it's a health shake. It's good for health. So if we think of it this way, basically what Shakeology does is it makes sure we get everything that we need in a day in one glass. Now, that doesn't mean you just drink Shakeology and you don't eat all day. I also hate saying that. So I want you to remember that you are still eating throughout the day, but Shakeology makes sure that you're getting things like the superfoods, the adaptogens, the probiotics, the prebiotics, and I'll go over all of that in a minute. But Shakeology is not strictly for weight loss, it's for health. So even if you're at your ideal weight, even if you use it to lose weight, you should still be drinking it afterwards as well. Now, I want to talk a little bit about weight loss and why it helps in weight loss. So what happens when we diet is typically days 1 through 10 of our diet are pretty good. We start strong. We say, you know what? I have this plan of attack. I'm going to kick butt. I have my workout scheduled. I have my meal plan. I'm going to follow it to a T. And things are going well. Usually the first week is pretty easy to stick to, minus, the few slip-ups. Then around day 10, we start to get to that point where we get cravings and we get cranky and we get fatigue, and we go out with our friends and they're all eating pizza and I want pizza too, and I cave and have pizza and I say, oh well, I'll restart my diet on Monday. That's typically what I like to call the diet cycle, and that's something that I was stuck in forever. Now, what Shakeology does is prevents that from happening, and I'm going to tell you why. So when we diet, we are cutting our calorie base. So every day we need about, a certain number of calories, whether it's, 2,000, 1,800, whatever it may be for your body. When we start to diet, we are cutting our calories. So our body is not getting all the calories that it needs in a day. Typically what happens is we're also not getting all the nutrients that we need in a day. So there's actually been studies in medical journals that in order to get all the nutrients and the micronutrients that we need in a day, you would need to be consuming 2,700 calories of food every day. Most people need less calories than that to maintain or lose weight. So here's the problem. We cut our calories, we exercise and cut calories even more, we become nutrient deficient. When you become nutrient deficient, your body basically puts up these, blasters saying, hey, I need nutrients. And we mistake that for cravings. We mistake that for, I need chocolate, I need pizza, I'm cranky, I'm tired, I'm grouchy. And that's what happens when we diet. So drinking Shakeology, you're basically preventing yourself from becoming nutrient deficient because you're still getting everything that you need in a day. And that's really why it can aid so much in weight loss, because you are kind of combating that effect of nutrient deficiency. And once I learned that, I was like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. And I see it happen all the time with my challengers, is we kind of get to that point where we stop having as many cravings and we don't get that, lethargic, fatigue, grouchy symptoms that we get when we diet. I used to get it all the time. It doesn't happen anymore. So that's really the weight loss piece of it. Now, Shakeology is a whole food. That's the other thing that I get all the time, is I would rather get my nutrition from whole foods. Well, that is just fine. However, chances are if you are in a caloric deficit of any sort and you are eating all whole foods, you are, I believe it's 56% likely to still be nutrient deficient. And Shakeology is a whole food. It's dried. Basically, all of the superfoods in Shakeology are dried. So it's basically a form of dry juicing. And they're dried at a low temperature so that none of the nutrients get killed. So it is a whole food. The other thing that I do like to mention is it has all these superfoods, and a lot of times they get overlooked because we don't really understand them. So I want to kind of simplify what they do for you. So they do a couple things. For one, Shakeology has these superfoods that will help build up your immune system. And that doesn't mean you'll never get sick. I still get sick, but I think this is a perfect example. I had the flu about a month ago, and it lasted probably 2 to 3 days were really, really bad, where I had a fever, I was tired, I was achy. I wasn't sick to my stomach. It wasn't terrible. I was better after those 3 days. Now, my sister doesn't drink Shakeology. She hasn't been convinced yet. And she had the same flu. It probably was the same strain, same exact thing that I had. And she's been sick for about a week with the fever. So that's kind of just a perfect example of how my immune system is built up versus how hers is built up. I drink Shakeology every day. She does not. Now, the other thing that the superfoods help with is they help to reduce inflammation in our body. And if you do any sort of research on inflammation, it's basically it's called the silent killer, because what it does is it causes all these problems within our body. It's typically related to autoimmune disorders, celiac disease, and, you name it, IBS, all different things. So again, it's going to help reduce inflammation, which can be really deathly and really can lead to a lot of different health problems. The last thing that is in Shakeology is the probiotics, prebiotics, and digestive enzymes. So a lot of us know now probiotic is kind of a pretty common term. It can be very helpful. It's really really fundamental to gut health. And honestly, your health starts in your gut, believe it or not. So a healthy gut is really going to lead to a healthy body, and probiotics and prebiotics really aid in that. Now, digestive enzymes are really helpful in breaking down food, and they also basically prime your system to absorb nutrients the best you possibly can. So one issue that I actually had when I was going through my eating disorder, and I was low in iron, I was anemic, I was not absorbing nutrients correctly. So something like digestive enzymes would have been huge for me to be taking, because I would have started to absorb more of the nutrition of my food and of my nutrition. And this is so important in Shakeology, because the digestive enzymes help you to break down all the superfoods, all the nutrients, all the nutrition that you're getting. It's not only bringing it into your body, it's optimizing your body for that. So that's kind of all my nutrition mumbo jumbo of why I do think it is so, so important. It's not just a protein shake. It's not just for weight loss. It's for overall health. I see it again and again in my challengers. We all feel better. We have more energy. We don't get sick as often. We don't have as many cravings. We're just healthier from the inside out, and I think that's so, so important. Now, one objection I get all the time is if you are still not convinced and I tell you the cost, people say it's too expensive. So I want to ask you a question. How much would you spend if you were to go out and eat a healthy meal? Chances are around $6 to $7. You order a salad at a restaurant, you get, a grilled chicken sandwich at a takeout place. It's gonna be pretty expensive. Now, Shakeology breaks down to about $4 a day, and that is one meal a day. So how I like to work it into my challengers budget is we figure you're spending $4 a day times 7, so you're spending about $28 a week on one meal a day for Shakeology. Cut that from your grocery budget. That's one breakfast a day. You're also getting your multivitamins. You're getting these superfoods. And honestly, if you go to Whole Foods and try and buy all of these superfoods like maca and, acai berry and all these different things and names I can't pronounce, you're going to be spending a fortune. So it's actually super, super reasonable. And I am such a big believer in preventative health. I personally would rather spend a little more money now and be super healthy and not be paying all this money in medical bills 10 years down the road. So I am just such a believer in it. And that's really why I wanted to do this video. It's not to convince anyone. It's not to sell you anything. Go reach out to the coach that you know and have them sign you up. I just really do believe that it can be a huge, huge lifesaver to your health and, to combating obesity and combating diabetes and IBS and all these health issues that we see. And a lot of times these health issues are just coming down to what we're putting in our body. So I really, really encourage you to do your research. If you're still not convinced, look a little more into it. There are so many resources out there. There are studies that have been funded not by Shakeology and not by Beachbody that really approve of it and, will say it's a legitimate resource. So I wanted to share kind of my nutrition take on it. Hopefully it kind of simplified it for you and broke it down and helped you understand a little more why I do believe in it so much and why I think it's so important. I honestly say, if you've been taking it religiously and you don't think you feel a difference, stop it for 5 days and see how you feel, and you will notice a difference. If you are looking to try it or you're interested in kind of learning more, always don't hesitate to message me. I can definitely help you kind of figure out how to fit it into your budget, fit it into your diet, whatever it may be. But hopefully that was helpful. If you have questions, comment below and I will be sure to answer them. Bye guys.